What's going on, everybody? Rob here, aka Trib2323, TREV2323. Subscribe, like, and share. Look at Michelada cups. If you don't know what those are, better ask somebody. Alright, so I got this watt meter here. All the power in the fish tanks are off right now. So we're going to go ahead and look at this before we go on to the deep freezer. Alright, it have used on day 6 it has used 61 kilowatt hours. On day 6 it has used 61, almost 62 kilowatt hours. Okay, it's still at 120 volts, 60 amps. That's what the outlet is pulling. I'm 4.60 hertz, 4.7 amps, almost 4.8 amps, 2.5 something shut off. The low it only used was 38 watts. The high it used was 1,258 watts. Okay, let me get to the cost. Where's the cost? Come on, it says cost is 8 cents, but it's a cost. So for 6 days, this cost almost $5 to run my fish tank. For 6 days, it costs almost $5 to run my fish tanks, okay? So I gotta clear this right here. I wanna unplug this right here from everything's gonna shut off right now when I unplug it. And then what we're gonna do now is I have this deep freezer here that we're gonna see how much power this deep freezer uses. Oh man, I had a whole thing of ice right there. Look at that. But this deep freezer, it shouldn't use as much as these fish tanks. Should use a lot less than these fish tanks, because these deep freezers, they rarely have to go on because nobody opens them and closes them. So let me get this unplugged from here and then I'll go that way. Now it's pretty cool with this, because when you buy this kilowatt hour meter, it gives you this little extension cord that you could fit it in between your wherever you're plugging it in at. So with this deep freezer, I am going to need to use this. Alright, because the deep freezer I have plugged into a spaghetti string 6 strip. Don't laugh at me here. Gotta do some finagling right here. I don't even know if you can see that. There's a deep freezer. Oh no, I don't get this no spaghetti string. I can just plug that in right here. Plug that in right there, and then it's lit up. Alright, so I had to push the reset button in order to get it reset. Now I'm plugging in the deep freezer. So this is a deep freezer plugged into the meter. $120 volts. The deep freezer, like I said, since it is not on, you see it's not using any power right now. Amazing, amazing. So deep freezers really don't use a lot of power because nobody's opening and closing them, so they don't use a lot of power. So I'm gonna leave that on for a day, and then I'm gonna do the refrigerator and leave that on for a day. Pretty amazing that these things use less power than those things. These use less power than those. Alright, we'll be back to check on this one in about a day. Okay, it's me. This is the next day, even hours past the time that I said we were going to check on the power consumption of a deep freezer. I'm whispering because my grandson is sleeping upstairs. So if we go right here, this is the watt meter that I got. Okay. It is 0.76 kilowatts. It's not 120 volts, like 119.8. The low it used was 1.2 watts. It was barely on. The high it used was 642 watts. It cost 6 cents for 24 hours. This is day 1, really. That it says 729 up there, but that's 729 on day 2 because we only used it for 1 day. $0.06, and it wasn't even a full. I don't know what that is for. Oh, it's not on right now, so there's no wattage being used right now. There's no wattage being used right now. This is 6 cents, and it's probably a little bit over 24 hours, and this thing only used 6 cents right here. So multiply that by 30, and let's see, 6 times 10 is 60, times 4 is $1.20. No, 2 is 60. 60 is 120. 120 is 240. $2.40 for the month of running this. $2.40. All right, let's move on to the refrigerator.